Okay, a pleasant afternoon to everyone. How are you today? I hope everybody is doing good and having fun with your day. And I hope you have a very nice day so far. So now, I am expecting that everybody is very excited to learn new things this afternoon. So we will be moving to our next topic, which is something to do with the picture, as you can observe there. So, yeah, you are correct. The picture shows something is heated. And that is related to our topic this afternoon, something related to heat also, which is called, or we will be focusing on this afternoon with the discussion of thermal capacity. So what is thermal capacity? So we will be talking about more of this rather, this afternoon. So to start, of course, we have to be guided with these learning objectives that we have here. So you are expected at the end of the day or at the end of the session, you are all expected to find out about some uses and consequences of thermal expansion and how energy supplied is related to increase in temperature when a body is heated. And also how to measure specific heat capacity and latent heat. And we will just focus more on the measurement or measuring your specific heat capacity this afternoon. So let's start with a review. Last time we talked about, we talked about the kinetic energy of particles of a matter or any matter. So under the kinetic energy of particles of matter, we mentioned also temperature and thermal capacity. What I mean thermal energy rather, or shall I say internal energy. And we mentioned that a temperature is equal to the average kinetic energy as we discussed last time. And also, we discussed that thermal energy or internal energy is the total kinetic energy. So, we measured temperature with a thermometer. And under thermal energy or internal energy, we have this term heat. And the heat is equal to the transfer of thermal energy. So these are the two terms that we just learned last week, which is something to do or can explain the kinetic energy of particles of matter. So I hope you can recall about this. And I hope that you are still or you can still remember about these concepts. So another thing also that we talked about last time is we talked about thermal expansion. So again, what is thermal expansion, class? We mentioned that once metal or any matter will be heated, then there is an increase in its size as well as its area. So we describe thermal expansion as an increase in the size of a substance or any substance when it is heated. That's how we define or describe thermal expansion last time. Next, we also talk about thermometer, and the measure of thermal energy is equal to the particle motion. So that is how we explained it, how we use thermometer to measure the heat of, or the temperature rather, of a certain substance or matter. So again, the measure of thermal energy is equal to the particle motion. And then we also review or we also talk about that warm air holds more water or H2O vapor than a cold water, and warm air rises or cold air sinks. So that's how we explain the temperature last time, using, of course, measuring it using a thermometer. So again, the measure of thermal energy is equal to particle motion. So next, the temperature. Also, we mentioned temperature last time. Temperature changes cause the level of the liquid inside a thermometer to rise and fall. That is how we describe a temperature or measuring the temperature using a thermometer. So as the temperature of the liquid decreases, so its volume decreases also. As the temperature of the liquid increases, its volume increases also. So that is how we describe a temperature last time. Again, a temperature is the average kinetic energy of the particles or of matter, particles of a matter rather. So now, let's try to describe the picture. So to start with, I guess you are now ready to learn new things this afternoon. So let's start it with describing the picture. I want you to describe the picture. What is the picture all about? Okay, so as you notice, there is something hit, or the materials or the objects are heated. So there is a word specific heat. Yeah, you're all correct. That is something with our focus for this afternoon's topic rather. So another illustration also, it shows a substance being heated. So you're right. So something with heat. So now, this time, I will be showing you a very short video clip that will relate to specific heat capacity or something with the thermal capacity. So in this video clip or video presentation, I will be asking you to take down note of what you have gained from the video that I am going to present to you this time. So here, I want you to be guided with these guide questions. So we have the guide questions so that you will be guided while watching the video clip, a 3-minute video clip. So what is heat? What is thermal capacity? How do you determine the specific heat capacity of a substance? So I want you to be guided with these questions while watching the video. And then after that, we will discuss what you have just learned in the video. So I hope you will take down notes, and then you will be able to learn something in the video. So for a while, I'll share first the video. For a while.
This is all because of something called heat capacity.
Okay, again, I will
keep watching to learn more.
I will play it again for a while. So again, I want you to be guided with this, with the guide questions that I posted a while ago while watching this video. So I hope you will learn something, okay?
You might have noticed that if you are trying to boil a lot of water, it takes longer than if you only wish to boil a small amount of water. This is all because of something called heat capacity. Keep watching to learn more. Before we get into details, it is important to realize that there is a difference between heat and temperature. Temperature is a way of describing how hot or cold an object is and is measured in degrees Celsius, whereas heat is a form of energy and is measured in joules. The more heat transferred to an object, the more its temperature will rise. So heat and temperature are related, but they are not the same. So what is heat capacity? The heat capacity of a substance is defined as the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of a material by 1 degree Celsius. However, what's more useful for us to think about is the specific heat capacity of a substance. This is, as it says in the name, a little bit more specific. It is the amount of heat required to raise 1 kilogram of a material by 1 degree Celsius. Different materials have different known specific heat capacities, but we aren't always given a table like this, so we need to know how to calculate specific heat capacities ourselves. We have this equation, which can be written as symbols like this. The energy transferred is the heat energy absorbed or released. This equation can also be rearranged. To work out the temperature change, subtract the old temperature from the new temperature. Let's have a look at a problem. Pause the video and attempt to calculate the specific heat capacity of lead. How did you get on? The energy transferred is this, the mass is this, and the temperature change is 10 degrees Celsius. Because it's this, take away this. Using the rearranged equation, substitute in the values and we get 128 joules per kilogram Celsius. Here is another practice problem. Pause the video and attempt to calculate the energy transferred to the lead. Did you get it right? We could divide by 1000 to turn the answer into kilojoules. Notice that the answer is negative this time. It's because we cooled the lead. The temperature change will always be negative if it is being cooled, and positive if it is being heated. So there you have it. To summarize, specific heat capacity is the amount of energy needed to raise 1 kilogram of a substance by 1 degree Celsius. It's helpful because it allows us to work out how much energy we need to heat up or cool down the substance to a desired temperature. To calculate it, use the following equation.
Please like and share our videos with your friends. If you have any questions that you want help with, just comment below.
Okay, so I hope you have learned something in the video. In the video, it defines, or shall I say, it differentiates the difference between the heat and temperature. They are related, but they are not the same. When we say heat again, that means it is a flow of energy. So when we say temperature, that means it is the average kinetic energy of each particles. So that's how we define it. And now we will now proceed with our discussion. So what is heat now? What is thermal capacity, or what is specific heat capacity? How do we compute, or how do we determine the specific heat of any substance? So these are the questions that we can have in this topic, or in this session. So to start with, let's try to define what is heat. Based on the video, heat is the flow of energy, or energy transferred. So when we formally define what is heat, you can define heat as, or it is the transfer. So again, it is the transfer, or heat is the transfer of energy between two objects that are at different temperature. And that is how we define heat. So when two objects of a different temperature come in contact, so there is a contact between the two objects of different temperature, then energy is always transferred from the higher temperature to the lower temperature. I explained that one last time about the heat transfer. So again, when the two objects of the having different temperature will have in contact, then there is always an energy that will be transferred from higher temperature to the lower temperature, as you can see in the illustration. Object 1 and object 2. So there are two objects. They have different temperature. The other object, or object 1, has high temperature, and object 2 has low temperature. So what I said a while ago, if that is the case, if you have two objects having different temperature, then they are in contact, then there will be a heat transferred. So the high temperature will transfer its heat to the low temperature, which is the object 2. So the object 1 will lose heat, or will lose its temperature, and object 2 will gain temperature. And that is one of the characteristics that we should remember about the heat transfer. So now, let's proceed to the next. Another thing also in here is heat is a form of energy. We all know that heat is a form of energy. Greater the heat, the hotter the body. So that is one of the characteristics of heat. Again, heat is a form of energy. So greater the heat energy, the hotter the body is. And heat energy can be converted into other forms. I know you already encountered the different forms of energy. So again, heat energy can be converted into different forms like mechanical energy, light energy, electrical energy. So here are some examples to show the conversion of heat into other forms of energy. So as you can see, heat energy in this first illustration shows it will be converted, or it can be converted into mechanical energy. You can see it in heat engine. So another thing also is in the hot iron. In a hot iron, you can convert heat energy into light energy. And there is also a conversion in an opposite way where we convert other forms of energy into heat. So these are the examples for the conversion of other forms of energy into heat. So from chemical energy, you can convert chemical energy into heat energy. Another thing also, class, is another example, electrical energy can be converted into heat energy. So do not forget that heat can be converted into other forms of energy, and that is what it meant here in this slide. So next, heat transfer. So I mentioned a while ago, once there are two different objects having different temperatures, when they are in contact, there is a heat transfer. So what is now heat transfer? How do you define, or how will you describe heat transfer? So we can say, class, when we say heat transfer, so let's start with the heat energy as I mentioned a while ago. Heat energy is the transferred from an area of high temperature to an area of low temperature. Remember the illustration that I've shown a while ago? Two objects having different temperature, when they are in contact, heat energy is transferred from the high temperature to the low temperature, or objects rather having low temperature. So that is one of the characteristics or the basic idea of a heat transfer. So the transfer of heat, another thing also that I want you to remember, the transfer of heat can only occur if there is a temperature difference between the two locations. Because if they have the same temperatures, they cannot, or there will be no heat transfer, because we call it, again, thermal equilibrium, when they have, or when the two objects have the same temperature. So again, heat transfer can only be done when there is a difference of the temperature, and also when they transfer, the high temperature will be transfer its heat to the low temperature. So do not forget the two concepts. So another thing also that we have to remember about heat transfer, heat is always transferred from the hotter area or object to the cooler one. So again, heat is always transferred from the hotter area or object to the cooler one. So again, in this slide will tell us the characteristics or how we describe heat transfer. So a heat transfer can only be done if the two objects have different temperature. And then another thing also in here is the heat will always transfer from hotter area to the cooler one. So I want you to remember that concept of heat transfer. So more of this. So we are talking about the heat transfer. So now the next question is, what do you think, class, is the capacity of any material or substance to be heated or to reach a temperature or of 1 degree Celsius or 100 degrees Celsius rather? So now that will something that can be related to thermal capacity. So every substance or materials, they have thermal capacity. All matters, all particles of matters have its thermal capacity or its own thermal capacity. So what is now thermal capacity? So a thermal capacity, class, we can define it as a physical property of matter. So what is the physical property of matter will be something to do with its heat capacity or thermal capacity. So a physical property of matter, which is defined as the amount of heat. So I will highlight the word the amount of heat to be supplied to a given mass of a material to produce a unit change in its temperature. So in short, we can say, in a simple way of saying, thermal capacity will give us or will tell us the amount of heat or how much, or yeah, the amount, how much heat or amount of heat to be supplied to a given object or material in order to change its temperature. So that is the concept of thermal capacity. I'll repeat, thermal capacity will tell us the amount or how much the amount of heat that we need in order to produce or change the temperature of a given or a certain material or substance. And that is a thermal capacity. Another thing also, the SI unit of heat capacity is Joule per Kelvin or J per K. So I want you to remember the unit of thermal capacity. And heat capacity is an extensive property in thermal capacity. So of the thermal capacity of an object, I'll repeat, the thermal capacity of an object depends on the material it is made of. So what kind of material that you have will be, or the thermal capacity will depend on what kind of material that you have. That's why I said a while ago, each materials or each substances, they have their own thermal capacity. That's why thermal capacity depends on the material it is made of. So another, metal objects heat up easily. Their thermal capacities are low. So again, metal objects heat up easily. Do you agree? So I know you experience this one because sometimes you are cooking. So you can relate this one in cooking. Metal objects heat up easily. So because of that, we can say that the thermal capacity of metal objects are low because you can heat them up easily. On the other side, objects made up of non-metals, such as wood, glass, and plastics, and even liquids such as water and oil, they have higher thermal capacities rather, because it requires them time to heat them up. So again, metal objects heat up easily. Therefore, they have low thermal capacity. And then the non-metals, they have higher thermal capacities because it it requires time for them to be heated up or heat up. So that is the point in this slide about thermal capacity. Another thing also, we can describe a thermal capacity by just observing or trying to describe its formula. So a thermal capacity has its equation, and the equation is thermal capacity, which is denoted as C, is equal to the amount of heat which can be represented by capital Q needed to raise an object's temperature at 1 degree Celsius. Same with what I said a while ago. When we say thermal capacity, how much amount of heat is required for an object to change its temperature. So that is the concept of a thermal capacity, and we can describe it on this based on this equation. So we can say that the thermal capacity is equal to change of Q over change of T, where Q means energy in joules, and change of T means temperature change in degrees Celsius and degree Kelvin, or in Kelvin rather. So the units for this, for the thermal capacity, is joule per degrees Celsius, or we can say Q is equal to C, or thermal capacity, times the change in temperature. So this is how we describe thermal capacity based on its equation. So again, every substance have its own specific heat capacity. And then we define specific heat capacity as the quantity of heat required to change the temperature of 1 gram of a substance by 1 degree Celsius. So you have it there, the specific heat capacity of silver, of aluminum, and of water. Then we can solve, or a specific heat capacity can be defined in the equation Q is equal to mass, or M, times C times the change of T, or temperature. So we will discuss more of that next meeting. So this time I will give you time to do or to finish your task. So if you have some clarifications or questions, do not be hesitant to ask, okay? So I will just wait here for you for your queries or your concerns. So I hope you have learned something for this afternoon. You can continue now.